burnout, bore out, or check out? What's really going on?
I kind of get booked to come and talk at these conferences because I help people with burnout, all right? Anyone been at risk of burnout? I know I certainly have at different times. I'm going to put something to you that I reckon burnout is a bit like people who say they've got anxiety disorder or ADHD. I think we're overdiagnosing it. I don't think we have it as much as what we do. So we do have burnout, and when you're an agitated squiggle, there is burnout. But there's other things that are hiding and look like they're burnout, but they're not really. There's another one you can have called bore out. Which one's clearer, number one or number two? And if I concentrated on which one's clearer, number one or number two, it was boring as batshit. My day was miserable. But if I concentrated on getting to know Mrs. Jones and getting to understand how much she loves petunias, the day actually wasn't anywhere near as boring and I didn't feel burnt out anymore. So what things are we doing in our life that we're just concentrating on the boring stuff and we're not actually seeing the good things that's just hidden around the corner because we've got stuck in this little rut? And the next one that happens, and some of you guys are in retail, the next one is checkout. And checkout disguises as burnout as well, because what happens is when we're working in a unit where we're not getting on, we're not having those stressful conversations. Who's avoided a stressful conversation in the past? Oh, I'm not going to come to you and have this conversation. All I'm going to do is just stew on it and see whether that works. And it doesn't, it's terrible. And so what happens, it builds resentment and things like that when we start to check out. So I think a lot of the time when you're thinking you've got burnout, you might actually just be an agitated squiggle. And we've got to have a look at how can I do things differently. So if you're burnt out, you need rest. And we're going to talk a little bit about recovery later on. If you're bored out, you need a challenge. And if you've checked out, you need to work out how to reconnect, like you guys were doing with your little barcodes and stuff today. All right? So what we want to do about all of this, like the thing says up there, let's get curious about some of this stuff. We've got things in our head and preconceived ideas and little biases going on there. Why don't we have a look and see whether some of them are actually serving us or not? And that's what we're going to look at today.